Joining me now with more on the situation in Venezuela is George Ciccariello-Maher. He is a professor at Drexel University in Philadelphia and the author of We Created Chavez, A People's History of the Venezuelan Revolution. George, why don't I start here? Venezuela has cast blame for some of the unrest on the U.S., expelling 3 U.S. diplomats. It claims they played a role in inciting these student protests. The U.S. State Department released a statement today calling the allegations baseless and false and saying, "We have seen many times that the Venezuelan government tries to distract from its own actions by blaming the United States or other members of the international community for events inside Venezuela. These efforts reflect a lack of seriousness on the part of the Venezuelan government to deal with the grave situation it faces." So the question is, Venezuela taking the situation and the problems within the country seriously, or does the State Department have a point?
Well, I mean, just to begin in terms of understanding this in its historical context, I guess maybe the Venezuelan government then wasn't taking things seriously when it accused the United States of participating in a coup in 2002. But as it turns out, the U.S. did play a major role in that coup. And the United States continues to fund the Venezuelan opposition. This is in the budget. This is openly admitted by the Obama administration. It shouldn't come as a surprise. But that said, this is not, the trigger here is not being pulled by the United States government. It's this domestic opposition that is being taken over on some level by a far-right segment of hardline right-wingers that don't believe in elections, that don't believe that Venezuela is a democracy, and that don't believe that the way to power lay through elections, but instead lay in the streets. It's these people coming to power within the opposition that is really what's going on here.
And George, talk to me about the opposition, because it seems rather fragmented, isn't it?
It is fragmented. It's fundamentally fragmented at this point. There was a tense unity around the candidacy of Enrique Capriles, but when he failed to deliver, when he gave a relatively lukewarm, a lukewarm election result in Miranda, and when he failed to defeat Nicolás Maduro, then, of course, the opposition does what it consistently does, which is to tear itself apart amid backbiting and jockeying for position. And with Capriles playing the sort of middle-of-the-road, slightly more moderate strategic position, you have people like Leopoldo López and María Corina Machado attempting to outflank him on the right by really going for the path of street mobilization, regardless of what the outcome may be.
George, you brought this up initially, so I'll go back to the earlier point that you made. Bolivia's president said some months ago the U.S. was planning a coup in Venezuela. Maduro has been saying that as well. You pointed out the failed coup attempt against Chavez in 2002. So we've mentioned the word coup a couple of times. What are the chances of something like that?
Well, an actual coup within the military, with large numbers of military, military high command supporting it, is very unlikely. The military is very solidly Chavista now, but this is the same script that the Venezuelan opposition is playing. They're attempting to create a situation of conflict. And if we recall, in 2002, deaths in the streets served as the pretext for an overthrow from within the military. But that is very unlikely to happen today. Not only has the military changed, but also the media has become more moderate and it's become more middle of the road. And so you also don't have the media telling everyone to get out in the street and overthrow the government like you did in 2002. So you've got a very different situation. A coup of that kind is very unlikely. And what you're more likely to see is really just, again, the self-destruction of this opposition.
Interesting. George Ciccariello-Maher, thank you so much for joining us from Philadelphia this evening.